same team composition for Dumb Ways to Die as well. So completely even here. 2 Tempests. Oh, actually, incorrect information. Chicken Burrito has just switched it up ever so slightly to the stone. So now we've got a Pyro and Stone interchangeable, and then 2 Frost and 2 Tempest. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see why we had the switch there from Burrito. I wonder what was going through his mind there. Has he maybe got the stream on and heard that everyone was running the same? We never know. I know that there's a slight delay, so it's probably not the case, but it'd be interesting to see why he went over for that change. Maybe the map has something to do with it.
Another interesting point about Kyrie changing from Tox now to Wind. Maybe that was the plan. Maybe she went Tox to make them think that was the thing, to force Marty off of Tempest or off of Frost, or to try and get Burrito. As you said, he was going Fire, then changed to Stone. Maybe he thought, no, actually, that was a trap.
Oh, yeah. She may have baited the Stone Shaper out because she knows that she can Tempest counter it very easily. But wait a second. LD, I saw your eyes go big. Mine went big too. Do we have a Banehelm map?
Oh, my Lord.
Banehelm choice.
We have all 5 maps have now officially been in rotation. Awesome stuff to see. We're watching Arctic right now. The teams are straight away getting to the farming. See a nice couple of scrolls there for Arctic, 2 in Vampiric already, which is going to be huge for any early game fights that might come out. 2 in Intelligent as well, almost halfway through the scrolls already. Looks like Kyrie's just there helping Arctic get his talents up, and they've got good pickings of the Valgard camp. Very efficient takeout there, using the sorceries to get all 3 of them. But as you can see to the right there, and just below where Arctic is now, there is a lot of dangerous points on this map. So we may even see some self-exiles or some positioning mistakes that cause some people to
right there. Oh,
fall into the fracture. That's it. I think that will be a really interesting part to play, and whether that will decide whether teams take certain fights in certain locations. You know, Tempests are going to be a lot better fighting in those locations. They've got a lot more opportunity to get out of these locations as opposed to a Stone Shaper or Toxicologist. So I think it's going to bring some really interesting gameplay.
Oh yeah, 100%. And it's also going to be a testament to each player's own map awareness. Whereas most games before have been a case of they need to rely on their team more than anything else. This map levels that playing field, and of course they still need the comms with their team, and they still need to be able to gel and synergize with their team. But at the same time, they have to rely on themselves to know where they're positioning themselves at all time. Otherwise, one wrong spring step, and I'm guilty of this, will end in a fracture.
Oh yeah, 100%. This map is notorious for that kind of stuff. You definitely have to watch your step a little bit. And I think, I'm sitting here scratching my head the entire time on the intro going into this match, thinking, Kyrie, super team, you all just came through. You won by 8 points. You're facing the same exact team that you faced against. Why are you switching up your classes? And then the map showed up. And that, I think, answers my question. I don't think Kyrie wants to be running talks on a map this huge. I think Tempest is definitely the play to be able to move around this map very, very well, get to where you need to be able to help out your teammates, back up your teammates very effectively. And I do think that's going to be the reasoning for that choice over the Tempest. Definitely, I think the talks might have very well been a bait for the Stone Shaper on Chicken Burrito in that first round. I think you all definitely called that correctly. But will all of that come into play here? Will it really matter when it comes down to it? I'm excited to see exactly on this particular map how the engagements are chosen. You have such a giant open area. You can basically see the entire map at all times from almost any location on the map. There are some places like we see Arctic getting to right here that does offer a little bit of cover. You can get some of these structures. You can kind of make yourself a little bit of a fort, make yourself a little bit of a base. And we see that happening here. But as these players come back into the game, they're going to be dropping down and they're going to be very easy to spot. So it's definitely going to be a matter of, I think, who gets the advantage first, gets that momentum rolling in their favor, and if the enemy team can stop that momentum after it starts. Because as we've seen over and over throughout the night, one little mistake can give the enemy team an advantage, and it's almost impossible to come back from. And I think it's going to be even more so on this map.
Yeah, they're really able to use the environment to their advantage, and you can see here Arctic using it all so strategically, dipping in and out of windows, dipping in and out of pillars, doing whatever he can to keep that line of sight broken while also firing off these fireballs and catching people that aren't doing the same thing. We saw a minute ago where Arctic was underneath all of the building work that's been blown around, and he saw someone floating across in front of him, and he landed two wonderfully predicted fireballs on them, and then just dipped behind it so that he could not take the consequences for that.
Yeah,
it's all about positioning here.
Yeah, that's it. Like you said, Soph, the map awareness is so strong, especially on a map like Bainhelm. Even what's going on right now with Arctic, using this positioning up here, like the height that you have is incredible, and this isn't, what I believe anyway, an integral part of the map, something that you're going to be fighting on in a normal game. It's just so crazy to see all of the variety and unique fights that we're getting, especially on a map like Bainhelm. I mean, not only does it look incredible, but it makes for such an epic fight in arena. Yeah, you've even got almost a little arena down below, near where the fracture is as well. But we see Arctic chasing a player right across the map, does get frozen and eats a shockwave from Kyrie. Again, down to 1
HP. We see Mardy doing the same strategy where he took a hit, made the person think that they were ready to chase that fight and finish him off, and lured them into a trap where there was no way he could have gotten to get away from that freeze. He tried avoiding it at the last second by going up, didn't see it soon enough, didn't get out of the way, ended up frozen, took a stone slam and a snipe for his trouble, and then got back to the shop.
That's what you got to think. You got to think 3 steps ahead. You got to set up those opportunities. You got to make those situations happen for yourself. And Marty, definitely one of those players that can do it. But man, I just can't get over the fact that this is just such a like so incredible tug of war. Every single time that one team gets an advantage on the scoreboard, the other team takes it back. It's literally been a 1-point fight, back and forth, even 1 point ahead, 1 point behind. It is anybody's game. We still have 8 minutes left on the match. Only 40 out of the 120 points are here. And really, I think that you guys have really tapped on what's super important about this map. Specifically, is you have all this open area. There are a lot of classes that can really benefit from that open area, but a smart player, a competitive player, they don't really want to fight in that open areas very often. They want to be able to rely on these line of sight cover, this elevation, these structures, all this stuff. So you see the fight coming over here to areas like Eldegold said that we would not normally see in like your typical Dominion map. And I really think that this just shows us what it gets me excited about is the potential of future Spellbreak esports, competitive things for Spellbreak, where we can create smaller arenas like this and create these structures that really show off the elevation, the movement, and the high ground, and the speed in which Spellbreak is played. I think that we could really take these aspects of these maps and make them into something incredible. And as long as we keep coming through and hosting things like SGC tournaments, you guys keep coming through as competitive player and pushing the game, maybe eventually we'll get there. We'll see exactly what it takes, but we're going to try our best to make it happen, as Arctic does get a little bit of pressure his way, and it looks like the super team does come back and take the point in their favor, 49-48. Jeez.
I wonder which team it was that chose this map, and I wonder if they chose it because no one practices this map. Both teams do not seem that they're at this. As much as the scores are very even, and as you say, it's a tug of war between that point going back and forth to each team. Neither team looks as though they're playing comfortably at the moment. Both are just ducking around, taking shots, maybe overextending a little bit and being punished for it. And then the other team will do the exact same thing. And I wonder if that was the thought behind choosing this map, is that neither team will be comfortable. So maybe you could just make your opponents slightly more uncomfortable and throw them off of their game a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe if you believe your team is better handled to a pressure like that, as opposed to the enemy team, as Spellbreak is a very close-knit community, everyone's quite aware of, how people play and what a lot of their play styles are. So yeah, maybe using that to your advantage is a very, very clever thing for sure. But the score is still so tight between the two. We see 57-56 to Super Team. So it looks like Kyrie's team has still got the lead on a really interesting There we go. We saw it happen. Newbie
Yes.
unfortunately fell to the fracture there.
no.
Again, fighting in that horrendously fractureful area, allowing for one slip up and away you go.
And it comes down to more than just map awareness. I've just been thinking about this as well. And you can be aware and you can do everything you can to position yourself in a point where you know you can get away from the fracture afterwards. You can be hovering above it to take your frost shot and know that you've got enough mana to be able to get over the other side of it or back to the side that you just came from.
Yeah,
But that implies that you have to have a level of mana management that allows that. And again, the amount of times that I've misjudged the amount of mana that I've got, taken my shot, and not been able to levitate and just fallen to my death, it really does speak to each player's own strategical plays and their own comfort levels with their class and how well they know it all. And as we've already seen, Newbie falling victim to the fracture once already, which is unfortunate. But when you're in this kind of position, you really, really have to be super careful. And to a point, maybe even rely on your team. If your team notices one of their teammates dangerously close to a fracture, hovering above it, and they know that they've already taken a shot, maybe it's worth reminding them that shot just isn't worth it.
That's for sure a good point. And you know what else is a good point? Arctic is popping off. Pyromancer coming through. Big DF explosions. Our boy lands a fat DF explosion right off the drop and picks up a 2-point lead, comes in with another one with a quick flick off of the Firefly, picks up another exile. And ladies and gentlemen, we go from a 1-point tug of war to a 4-point lead just like that from a class that we have not seen chosen very much tonight. One of my personal favorites. And the good thing about this is Arctic's coming through playing with the W key energy. He's playing completely aggressively. He's playing smart, but you don't see him shying away from a fight. He's definitely right there to do some big damage right up in the face of his opponents, and it's working right now. Mostly because, he knows what he's doing, but also because his teammates there are right there on the sides to back him up, give him a safety net if he needs to escape, or just give him a little bit of extra damage output if he needs to get that secure killed. And we are down to 77 or 79. Wait a second. 2 exiles pop up. Newbie popping off. That's going to be a wind slam and a chicken burrito, a little bit frosty. Might need to be thawed out after that one. Does go down 80 to 75, 5-point lead as super team, definitely living up to their name. And if they take this round, you guys, they take the dub in the loser bracket finals and get a second chance at that grand finals victory. Woo!
100%. And it's interesting to see here. I wonder how much, because I know from playing with them a lot that Burrito especially is a very mentality-based gamer. If he's off even slightly in the way that he's thinking, he's going to have a really bad game and a tough time even trying to counter some of the things that he knows that he can do any other day of the week, because he is a fantastic gamer. And as we've said several times, at the age of 14, to be at this level of competitive gameplay and to be as talented with the editing that he did for our intro video, my lord, it's easy to judge yourself too hard for one bad move, and then that snowballs into one bad attitude, which then turns into one bad game. And one bad game is all it takes to lose the tournament, as we may well be seeing here.
Yeah, for sure. There, it's just a high level gameplay that we're getting here. That's absolutely incredible. We're getting into the last minute and 30 seconds of the game. We see Super Team with a 5-point lead, taking it up to a 6-point lead there. Absolutely crazy stuff. Arctic is using a lot of the natural cover, trying to get that health advantage back on the person that he's fighting. Again, using the Pyromancer class to its full ability, using that Flame Wall twice in one sorcery cast to make sure he's getting full utilization, and again goes for that huge recall behind some cover. Good timing, good positioning, good play in general. Do see that Arctic has now switched out to the spring step as well from the dash. Maybe that's been helping out with securing a lot of his exiles, as spring step combined with that kind of dodge can get you quite a nice distance towards your enemy. So yeah, I think this is working really well for Arctic. We see 4 exiles, 6 assists as well. So not only has he been securing the exiles, he's also been helping out his team in making sure that they can catch the W. But the exiles are just going up. It is 97 to 89 now. I think it's fair to say Super Team might have this Yeah, in the back, we've got 30 seconds left to
But
go.
this is Spellbreak. Anything can happen. But I don't
True.
think in 30, as you mentioned in 30 seconds there at the end of that, I don't think it's possible to get another 7 points in that time. Although stranger things have happened at sea.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Arctic just really putting on a Pyromancer showcase at this point. He's just super, super aggressive, right up in your face. He's making great use of that Firefly to go ahead and close the gap. Also making sure the firewall is there to keep him nice and safe. Does get a little bit over aggressive there at the end in the last few seconds, but I think that he was probably aware that was going to be it. And that is going to be the winners final or the losers bracket finals as Super Team comes through, turns it around in this Banehelm match. A crazy choice. Nobody saw Banehelm coming at all. Big brain. Kyrie Caitlin coming in with the Tempest choice. Nobody saw that coming at all. And in the end, the Pyromancer Arctic really impressed me. He was pretty much like, as soon as his teammates said, "Hey, we did some damage," it was like, let the dogs out. And Arctic was on him, man. There was no one getting away from this Pyromancer. He was singeing those toes and coming for that HP. And it was hard to escape. Very scary, beautiful as a Pyromancer. It brings me to tears. I'm so proud of him coming through representing. And Pyromancer is as common as I think people in your average lobby would say. Pyromancer is very strong. It's very tuned very well. It performs very high. I agree with a lot of that, but take a look at our competitive matches. Take a look at how many competitive players are playing Pyromancer, and you'll see that it's not that easy to make it work at the highest levels, and we just saw somebody do it. So if you guys want to get involved and take your Pyromancer level or whatever class you're playing, can you tell them where to go, Sloth?
Oh, that's easy. You can either come and join us in the SGC Discord for any support from any of our wonderful community members, but we also have the wonderful sponsors that have enabled us to bring this tournament to you and give you some incredible prizing, which is Metafy. And we do obviously have 3 Spellbreak coaches already on Metafy. We have the wonderful Kyrie Caitlin, who has participated and helped organize this entire event and Discord community. But there's also veterans like Kamski and Chaos, who, if you're familiar with them, were some of the top level competitive players way back in the Element days. They still come on and join us from time to time. They end up still kicking all of us up and down the HoloLens. So if you're going to go over to Metafire, have a look at them. Definitely check that out. It's not just Spellbreak. There is countless other games on there. So if there's something you want to improve on, head over there. We've got a discount code for all of you to use, which is CSL15, and you'll get 15% off of all lessons with it.
Yeah, awesome stuff. Huge shout out to Sector X as well for the sponsor. Super huge to have both of them here with us. Super excited to get into, if I'm not mistaken, the grand finals next, guys.
This is it, boys. This is what we've been waiting for. Are you ready?
Yeah, we're here. But before we do get into that, don't forget we also have some other events that are going to be coming up, including a BR, is it solos, I believe, and an Exile Race tournament. So as you can see here on the screen, we've got the Exile Race tournament on April 16th at 4 p.m. EST. Winner takes all, $100, funded and ran by a huge community member, Waloosh. Huge shout out to Waloosh. It was super fun. Checked out a stream of his really recently. Super fun stuff. So make sure you keep an eye out for that !SGC in the chat if you want to join the Discord and be notified for all of the awesome events we've got coming up, like this one right here.
Hey, y'all get in there, hang out with us. Let us know if you need any help, if you need anybody to play with, if you have any cool ideas for events or videos or anything like that. It is pretty much your one place nonstop hub for Spellbreak things. So get in there. Like I said, !SGC. We also have a solo BR tournament coming up soon on the 28th of May at 4 p.m. We got prizes still yet to be decided. And if you want to get involved in helping out, support SGC and help provide prizes for us in the future, you can always check out that link. Will be provided in the chat for you guys shortly. We do have a GoFundMe link provided. You'll be able to see that link very shortly. So thanks again for everybody coming through. Thanks for watching our tournament, and get excited. We're getting ready to jump into our grand finals. So far, up until this point, every match, I guess you'll call it, is best out of 3. but now we're going to the best out of 5. We're going to give all these players a chance to really, really dial in their strategies, come up with any counter plays that might be viable here, and really just have no excuses not to come in and give their best. They're going to have every map they can play on. They're going to have every opportunity to turn this around. And this is what we've all been waiting for all day long. We've been seeing incredible players face off against each other, fighting out, going against RNG, going against internet lag, going against every cat's unplugging computers. And through all of that, we've made it here to your final teams. It's going to be Super Team versus Gecko's Wet Thigh. Super Team did go out in the winners bracket earlier to Gecko's Wet Thigh, so it's got a little bit of a redemption arc for them. If they can come back and take this dub, it will be a huge undertaking for them. And we all like to root on the underdogs, but I honestly am just rooting for the Spellbreak community and just happy that we're all having an awesome time. So let's get excited. I'm ready for it. You guys ready?
That's it. I'm here. I'm ready. But I think we've got something coming up on the screen now. I think we are just going to have a quick short break here. We're going to play our amazing video that was made by AJ Reddy, Chicken Burrito, with some editing from yourself, Timmy, Kyrie. I know loads of people had some great input on that. But yeah, should be super exciting to get into the grand finals, and I cannot wait, guys. So make sure you stay tuned.
Yeah.
See you after this video.
Here comes.
Oh shit! Let's get it! You know what we do, man! Let's get it!